Hey, what's happening everybody? Today I want to show you how to make an Alaskan delicacy, and that is fireweed jelly. Now the first thing you want to do is get yourself about 8 to 10 cups of the leaves of the fireweed plant. And then once you get them, you're going to want to separate any of the stems and leaves, any big bugs or debris that you find in there. You want to have as clean of petals as you possibly can going into this. The next thing you want to do is you want to get yourself a colander, strainer, whatever you call it in your neck of the woods, and you want to put the petals in there and run them under some nice, cool, gentle running water. You're trying to wash off any of the dirt, grime, dust, debris, bugs, whatever that might still be on there. You do want to be gentle with it. You don't want to damage the petals. You want to try to keep them as intact as possible. Once you get them rinsed off, you're going to strain all that water out and then set the petals to the side for the next step. For this next step, you're gonna wanna take 4 cups of water, bring it to a rolling boil, and then you're gonna take and pour it over those petals. Afterwards, you're gonna let that seep for about 20 to 30 minutes. What you're doing here is making fireweed tea. You can use this to just go ahead and make tea if you wish. It's very delicious, lots of nutrients and stuff in it, but it is also the base for our fireweed jelly. After about 20 to 30 minutes have passed, you should wind up with a rich purple tea. You're gonna wanna take a cheesecloth or a fine mesh strainer of some kind and remove all the petals and any kind of debris that might be left in it. You want a nice clean tea when you add it to the pot. As for the pot, you can use anything you want. I myself am using a Dutch oven, works great. Afterwards, you're gonna get yourself some 100% lemon juice and add 2 tablespoons to the mixture. And this is a great activity, as you can see, for the kids to be involved with. They help to gather the petals, and I let them help along the process, trying to teach them how to live off the land, enjoy the bounty that God has given to us, and how it's often more delicious and nutritious than the stuff you can find in the store. The next thing you're going to want to grab is a box of powdered pectin. Doesn't really matter what kind you use, just pick up whatever you have at your local supermarket. I just grabbed the first thing that I saw. You're going to want to use the whole thing, tear it open, pour that powder into the mixture, and mix well. After everything is completely combined, you're going to turn the heat on and bring the entire thing to a rolling boil. Once it has reached a rolling boil, you're going to take 4.5 cups of sugar and dump it all in at once. Then mix it all together until it is very well combined, and then bring the whole thing back up to a rolling boil. Once you get there, you're going to cook it for an additional 60 seconds, 1 minute, stirring the entire time. I know it's a little bit of a workout, but I promise if I can do it, you can do it as well. Once those 60 seconds have passed, you're going to remove the entire mixture from the heat and take that opportunity to skim off any foam that might have collected on the top. It's not necessary, but I do recommend it if you want a nice, cleaner looking jelly. Immediately afterwards, you're going to want to take your mason jars. Now make sure that these have been properly sterilized beforehand in boiling water. Even if they are fresh out of the package, you just want to make sure that they're sterile inside and out, and the lids as well. Next, you're going to begin ladling in your jelly into the jars, leaving about a 1/4 inch room of headspace at the top for the sealing process later. Yes, I do still have my little diva there, putting on a show for the world. She's living in her own little world, living her best life, and I love her, and you know what, just let her do what she wants to do. Now this batch yielded me about 4 16-ounce jars, so it should yield you about the same. Other people use 8-ounce jars for jelly. That's pretty much the standard, but 16 is what I had on hand, and it works just fine. I really wouldn't go above that. You're gonna wanna make sure you clean the rims, get off any excess jelly that might be on the outside there, and screw those lids on tight for the next part of this process, where we put it in a water bath. We do not want any water getting into our jelly. Now for the water bath, you're gonna want about 1 inch covering the top of those jars, so measure it beforehand. Bring that water to a boil and then gently lower the jars into it. You're gonna wanna have like a little grate or something so that the jars aren't touching the bottom directly. Once that comes up to a rolling boil, you're gonna let them boil for 10 minutes before removing them from the heat and removing them from the water. Leave the jars to sit out for, I do about 24 hours. Afterwards, you can check the seal, run your finger around the top, make sure that button is not raised. Also, you can remove the band and hold it up by the lid itself a couple inches, and if it doesn't come off, then the seal is in place. If you have any that don't seal, you can just use them immediately in the fridge. Otherwise, they can be stored for up to a year in the pantry. I marked the date on mine. So if you give this recipe a shot, I hope you enjoyed as much as I do. This is one of my favorite jellies in the world. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see y'all next time.